Hey there, Tilray traders and investors. It's Rod with Powell Group. Welcome back on The Pursuit of Wealth, your home for MJ Stocks, crypto assets, news, and interviews. Today's Wednesday, January 8th. Hope you're well. And in this video, we're going to be discussing Tilray Brands. We have an insider update, Form 4 from Stephen M. Cohen. There was a change in beneficial ownership. I had a few questions about this already, and I thought it'd be a good idea for a video. Before we get to it, make sure to smash the like. It helps support me in the channel. If you're new, you can subscribe, tick the bell. You'll be notified on any future videos or when I go live. And as always, this is not financial advice. This is for entertainment purposes only. And full disclosure, I do own Tilray stock. It's my largest MJ portfolio holding. You can also follow us over on Elon's platform. Shout out to Elon. Handle for that is @GroupPal. That's none other than X, formerly Twitter. Kind of using that as my platform of choice going forward. Also, if you haven't seen my video that I posted yesterday, Tilray Brands Q2 2025 earnings prep and estimates. I go over the consensus from analyst estimates and I give my thoughts and opinions. And this is going to be on Friday, January 10th. So in 2 days, stock market is closed in the US tomorrow. So they moved it to Friday morning, and I'll be streaming the conference call as well. So I'll also be doing extensive coverage, and we'll do a review of their earnings after the fact, and as well as the conference call. So if you recall, Tilray appointed a new independent board member. This came back on December 13th is when the news broke, and that was Stephen M. Cohen. And he served as interim CEO of AYR. So Cohen's extensive background includes serving as interim CEO of AYR Wellness Inc. since September 2024. There was some speculation that Tilray might buy AYR or something like that. I don't think they're going to give up their NASDAQ listing. So maybe in the future, I don't think this is really warranted speculation to say that they're going to buy AYR or anything like that. I think it's just a strategic move and helping them with their U.S. operations. And I do think that AYR is probably in some trouble. They have a lot of debt. And with Amendment 3 not passing in Florida, there's going to be a lot of competition, oversupply, price compression. I think Curaleaf was doing 40 or 60% off of all their products to start the year. So it's going to be, there's probably going to be some losses mounting. And if you have a lot of debt, that's not great. So this is the Form 4 that just released. It came out, filing date January 8th. So it just came out literally, I think probably 30 minutes ago is when I got the notification in the Powell Group private community from the automatic news fetching. And you can see here, statement of changes in beneficial ownership of securities, Tilray, Stephen M. Cohen. So you can just hit view HTML, and then that'll bring up the Form 4. So essentially, this is just a form to report changes in ownership of securities held by those in the company, right? And it could be a board of director, CEO, etc. So the person, as I mentioned, Stephen M. Cohen, this is from Tilray Brands, and it took place on January 7th. So if we go here, the document date January 7th, and then the filing date January 8th. And the type of security, so the transaction involves RSUs, so restricted stock units, which are a type of equity compensation. So when stock units are restricted, it has to be until certain conditions are met, like a vesting period, etc. And then 124,378 RSUs were vested and converted into common stock. And before that transaction of Cohen's RSUs, after the transaction, he still owns 124,378 shares of common stock. So that indicates that all RSUs were converted into common stock. So essentially, in layman's terms, this filing indicates that he has a significant share amount in Tilray, and he had some RSUs that vest and convert into actual shares of the company on January 7th. So the conversion did not change the number of shares he effectively owns, but it did change the form of ownership from the RSUs to common stock. And if you just take a quick estimate there, so we closed at 137, so 124,378 shares, and we'll times that by 1.37. So that's about $170,000 US is what that equates to. And there's been some insider buying. I posted a couple of videos about this in the past. If you haven't seen those, you can check it out. But Carl Merton, there's a few others as well. But overall, there wasn't it wasn't a large amount of shares in the past, but it is a positive sign that we are seeing insider activity, especially when the share price is, at all-time lows or near all-time lows and 52-week lows. And it's just more reassurance and conviction in the stock, right? We like to see insider buying, and overall, I still think it's going to be a couple more months yet. A lot of people asking me about their earnings. There's probably going to be, some insight into the HD9. I'm not really expecting much, though. It was mentioned in the AMA as well that we probably won't see anything until any meaningful increase until Q3. But the way that they're approaching their rollout is very wise, in my opinion. They're learning they're going off of what they learned in Canada. You don't want to oversupply, and you don't want to be everything to everybody and just over capacity. You want to kind of crawl, walk, run, and scale in increments, right? So they're basically taking a slow approach. They're bringing on a few states, and they're seeing how it goes. With the Farm Bill as well being delayed about another year, there's probably not going to be any amendments to that. I think we're going to see HD9 beverages really steal the show in 2025. And what better company to take advantage of that than Tilray? It's got over 700 distributors in the U.S. just in its alcohol channels, and a lot of the alcohol distributors, right? They want access to these alternative beverages as well. And it's dry January. I'm actually doing dry January, so I'm taking advantage of a lot of Tilray beverages here in Canada. And it's a healthier alternative without the hangover. And yeah, it's a great experience, and I love their products. Never had a bad experience with any of their beverages. They're absolutely fantastic. It's definitely one of my preferred methods of consumption. But as you can see here on the daily time frame for Tilray, we've just been range bound. Essentially, we have the high there at 153 and then the low at 128, and it's just been an equilibrium within there. So we have our high, low, lower high, higher low, and we're tightening up, and it's more than likely going to be earnings that gives us a break out of this range. We could see an EMA 12 and 26 bear cross, so I'm a little bit bearish leading into earnings, and with the stock market close tomorrow, it's very possible that we have a bearish reaction. But curious to hear what everybody else thinks in the comment section below. Do you think there's going to be a bullish reaction, bearish reaction? Do you think they're going to meet or beat on or miss in terms of analyst estimates? Again, if you haven't seen this video, I go over the analyst estimates in this video, so let me know if you think they're going to beat that. They are expecting a little bit of a lower revenue, etc., and I think the average was around negative 0.036, I think, for EPS, earnings per share. So they are still expecting a loss. So hopefully this video was helpful. If it was, I would appreciate a like. Going to it there, though, it's Rod with the Pow Group. Thanks again for joining us on the Pursuit of Wealth, everybody, and we'll see you again on the next video.